All right, Blicky Roo, how's it going?
What's good, Cam Capone? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Everything's good, man. Was reading about your story, the bio you sent me. It sounds, pretty interesting. It sounds like you got a really, wild past and, good, dope story. I'm looking forward to getting into it. So where were you born and raised at?
I was born in Enid, Oklahoma, and I was raised on the east side. Um Third block is my hood. That's what I rep, and that's what I'm putting on the map.
Okay, and take me through your childhood. What was it like for you growing up there?
It was rough growing up, just like any other black boy in America in the hood. Typical hood shit going on every day. I grew up in a blood neighborhood. A lot of the homies from the block grew up to be bloods and successful rappers like me. So there's a lot of talent out in Enid, but um, I grew up around gang members, Bloods and Crips. My mom had them over at her house all the time. They were selling drugs and having shootouts, and um, yeah, it was crazy. I saw a lot of crazy shit like that growing up. This one time, these two gang members got into it, and they were shooting at each other. They got into a shootout at a corner store, and this local rapper, he was with his girlfriend. He was a well-known local rapper too. Everybody knew him. He was doing his thing. He got caught in the crossfire from shooting his girlfriend, and one of the gang members ran back to my mom's house and hid the gun under the couch. And later on that night, I came home and I found it under the couch, and I took it and I started playing with it, and um, I actually took the gun, and that became my first gun, and I uh, I hid it in my room, and then a couple days later, it wasn't there when I came back to it. So when I came back for it, so I guess somebody found it or whatever. But the gun did have a body on it when I had my first gun.
And this was at how old? What age?
Yeah, I was 6 years old at this time.
What were you thinking at 6 years old? You found a gun. Did you know that the gun was dirty at the time? Did you know what was going on?
I didn't know the gun. I didn't know the gun had a body on it, but I thought it was cool that I found my first gun. So I started playing with it and made it mine, and I felt gangster when I had it.
Did you know it was a real gun, or did you think it was a play gun?
I knew it was a real gun because there was gang members around all the time, and they were always putting money in my pocket and looking out for me. So I always had a wad of money and a shoebox full of cash.
Even at that age, that young.
Hmm.
And you mentioned that you seen shootouts. How old were you when you seen your first shootout?
6 years old.
Can you take me through what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of shit kind of happened at once because my mom's house was the shop for all these gang members and all these, drug dealers coming and doing their thing. They was coming from Oklahoma City and everything. But yeah, my first shootout, two gang members shooting at each other over whatever reason, and they ran off. But I just remember I was playing with one of my friends. We was in front of my house, and all of a sudden we just heard gunshots, and we look up, and he was right there across the street. One of them was right there across the street, and he was shooting at the other, and he was shooting back at him, but then took off running. The other one took off running, so just normal shit. It was just normal shit. We went back to playing and doing our thing.
What'd your mom say? Did she talk to you or anything when stuff like that would happen?
She just told me to be careful and just, yeah, just be careful and be strong about it. That's all I could do.
That was it, huh? No, everything's gonna be okay. Like, you weren't really shook about it at that age?
No, yeah, it became normal. Really, it was normal from the beginning, so I didn't think no different, didn't know no better. And and I had a love for hip hop at a young age too. So, and my favorite movies was Juice and a lot of those hood movies. So really, my life is just another hood movie.
And you had mentioned that the feds came and questioned you.
Yeah, yeah. Since there was a big drug ring in Enid back in the day during that time, and there was a lot going on. And my mom's house just happened to be the headquarters of everything, the base of operations, whatever. Everybody was setting up shop there, so the feds were wanting to kick down the door, and my mom warned me ahead of time, hey, they may come to school and question you. And I'm in kindergarten at this time, first grade at this time, so she's warning me, hey, they're gonna come question you, and just be ready. Don't tell them what's going on. Don't tell them what you see or nothing. And I love my mom so much. I never wanted to see her get locked up. So, I was ready for them. And they came and questioned me, and they pulled me to the side. My principal came and pulled me to this room or whatever. And next thing I know, a few cops were in there asking me questions, and just kept my mouth shut. Learned to keep my mouth shut since a youngin'.
That's young to be questioned by the feds. You said how old? 6 years old?
Yeah.
Kindergarten? First grade?
Yeah, a lot of this shit was going on when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. Few years, 3-year time span.
And did you tell your mom what happened?
Yeah, I told her immediately, and she was pissed.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, so you keep your mouth shut. And did your house get raided or anything after that?
Our house never got raided, but it was close to getting raided, but it never got raided. But I go out on missions with my mom all the time because she didn't have nobody else to watch me or whatever. So this one time, there was a lot of close calls. Like this one time, this house got raided that we were at, but we was in the car, and the police are going up there and busting everybody, and we was right there in the car hiding, and they never saw us. One passed right by us with his flashlight. So that's just an example of the many close calls we had. But yeah, my mom managed to slick through every time.
Okay, and growing up this young, seeing all these different things, these shootouts, the cops are what looks like coming for you guys. The feds are even questioning you. What are you going through at the time? I mean, compared to maybe your friends, who were your friends living a similar lifestyle to you, or was were their parents involved in the streets also?
Yeah, a lot of the homies, they were going, they were raised the same way, going through the same shit too, and I think that's what made a lot of talent come out of Enid. At that time, how I was getting through it is writing music and trying to become a rapper at a young age. And I was inspired by Tupac and Eminem and Biggie and Snoop Dogg and all them guys that were hot at that time. So I wanted to be just like them, and so I write my own lyrics and just.
How old were you when you started rapping?
I started rapping, I was probably in first, second grade. This one time in school, I begged one of my teachers to let me rap in front of the class, and she let me. So yeah, I count that as my first performance. So I've been doing this shit since I was young, and here I am now.
And that's what's up. Did you enter any talent shows or anything?
I didn't ever go to any talent shows, but yeah, I did take a little break from rapping in between then, but I just started picking it back up here a few years ago. So started taking it seriously again a few years ago. So
okay, you had mentioned that some of your favorite rappers were Eminem and Snoop. I think I read in your bio that you dyed your hair blonde.
Yeah. I begged my mom to dye my hair blonde when I was a kid, because I looked up to Eminem so much, and I was relating to what he was going through at that time. So yeah, I had my mom dye my hair, and that was the first time I did that. But recently I dropped when MGK dropped that Rap Devil. I I did a remix to it and called it Rap Demon, and I dissed him on it to honor Eminem. So hopefully Eminem can notice me from that. But I got a lot of views from it and got a lot of attention from it. So I think it was a good move in my career.
Okay. Now, as you're growing up, I think I seen in your bio that your mom also was on drugs at one point, or started to do drugs at one point.
Yeah. My mom did fall to drugs at one point in her life. You know, mom's always been a gangster, and mom's always had her ties in the streets, and you know, my mom's the reason why I can go to certain places and certain hoods and have respect, and you know, not have to worry about anything. But back in the day, my mom, she had a white boyfriend, and he was a big drug dealer, and he'd buy her all kinds of nice cars and shit, and just have her living that lifestyle. And then after that, she did fall to drugs, and yeah. And then
What was that like for you when your mom was going through that?
it was rough. It made it rough on me, but I think it made me into I think it gave me the opportunity to become the rapper I am today. So it gave me the push to strive for greatness. But yeah, it was rough, and it brought a lot of bad shit. It brought a lot of negative energy. But like I said, it brought gang members. It had shootouts and close calls and everything. So, but we was even homeless at one time. Yeah, we got evicted, and we was staying in motels and living in cars, and we even had to stay with one of her boyfriends. He actually taught me how to box. He was one of the first people to teach me how to box. He wasn't anything special or anything, but I learned how to throw hands from him for the first time. But yeah, we had to stay with him for a little bit, and just, you know, moving to cars and moving to motels and everything, just homeless. And my grandma, who was the next town over, she actually heard how we was living and everything that was going on. So she sent one of my uncles to come and get us and get me out of that lifestyle. So that's what saved me from a lot of bullshit and kind of mellowed me out a little bit.
You and your mom go live with your grandma, or just you do?
Me and my mom both went and lived with my grandma, but my mom would go back to Enid occasionally. So pretty much it was just me and my grandma's.
How old were you when this happened?
I was about 9 or 10 at this time.
Okay, so about 9 or 10, you go live with your grandma. And were you going to school during all this?
Yeah, I was going to school, but shit, I didn't really have nothing going at that time. So I found me a different crew and just run around the town thugging.
So at this point, you're not living in the main city where you grew up at, right?
Right.
You're living with your grandma.
Right.
And so at some point, you still end up back in your hood.
Yeah, because we would go back and visit Enid, and you know, I'll go visit the homies from the block and hang out with them and run around with them and do our shit still. But I was just the next town over, so we always had our ties in Enid, and we always will.
Okay, so you're living at your grandma's. You're going back and forth. At what point do you actually start getting involved in the streets yourself?
I was actually involved in the streets at this time. Like I said, I had my crew. We was thugging, doing our thing. This was back in Enid and in Perry at the new town I was at, just doing our thing, breaking in houses, breaking in cars, and shit, just hoodlum shit.
At 10 years old?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, and I think you mentioned you grew up in a blood neighborhood.
Yeah, in Enid.
In Enid. And, okay, that's where your mom was from, too? Your mom grew up there also?
Actually, my mom's not from there. The town that we moved to is where my mom's from. but my mom was in Enid. My mom was in Enid when she had me, and she raised me there. So
Okay. Did you actually, become a gang member yourself?
I didn't actually become a gang member myself, but I'm affiliated by the homies, and my older cousin Santinio, who got me in, who helped me get my rap shit going. He's a blood. He's an OG too. So I'm affiliated. I got family and yeah.
Okay. Now, as you're growing up, at any point do you get arrested for anything?
Yeah. Me and the homies got we was real young. Me and the homies got arrested for stealing. So on some boys in the hood shit, we got in trouble for stealing and shit. I didn't get in too much trouble when I was young because I was just too sneaky and I never got caught.
Okay. Now, what's your mom going through at this time?
Um,
While you're living at your grandma's and your mom's kind of out and about, does she kick back a little bit, or does she's still going hard in the streets?
she was trying to kick back, but I'm gonna be honest, mom was still going hard in the streets. Mom's just a street person at heart, so mom's always gonna be in them streets, but but yeah, she was still going hard and doing her thing and shit. I was just in a whole different environment and trying to get used to that. My grandma was trying to get me on the right path and shit. Yeah, I think my grandma was just an angel in my life and trying to save me from everything and I think she did. I think I dodged a lot of bullshit because of my grandma, but
It sounds like your grandma really helped you out a lot.
yeah, she did. Yeah. But then after high school, I kind of got back into the streets again and getting into shit and picking up the rapping shit again. And
For people that don't know, whereabouts in Oklahoma is Eden at? Are you close to Oklahoma City?
yeah, Enid's about an hour away from Oklahoma City
Okay.
and probably about 2 hours away from Tulsa.
So it's like a small city, or?
It's a small city, and I feel like OKC, Tulsa, and Enid are the big three when it comes to like gang activity and even hip hop. I feel like they're the big three out of Oklahoma.
So Eden's known for being a gang city.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned that you grew up in around a lot of Bloods, and you looked up to Snoop Dogg. Did you ever Snoop is this hard dude, crippin' or anything, and did anybody ever even care?
Uh, no, nobody ever really cared. Nobody ever said anything like that, but they were more strict about they were just all strict. They were more strict about their gang colors and everything back then, and it's way different than it is now. So back then nobody could just come around with a different color on, or than the opposite of the gang or anything like that. It would back then more shit would have went down than today. But as for Snoop or me listening to Snoop or anything like that, no, it was never a problem.
How do you think it affected you growing up with, nothing but gang members? I don't want to say nothing, but a lot of gang members around you.
Well, I think it hardened me. I think it made me tough. I'm not no pushover. Like I said, I was never officially jumped into a gang, but I be thugging, and I don't take shit from nobody, and I'm not afraid to pop if I have to.
Growing up with it all around you, with your mom and the family and everything, Was your mom trying to keep you away from the streets, or trying to like get you away from that lifestyle? Or what did your mom think?
My mom was trying to keep me away from it, but I was trying to get into it.
And how did she feel when she found out, you were in the streets, thugging?
She was mad. She was threatening to send me to juvie and all that kind of shit and get me locked up. And yeah, she was threatening all that shit, but she never went through with it. But
your mom had to have known a lot of people you were hanging out with. Did she try to stop you from hanging around with these other kids?
she didn't really try to stop me from hanging out with them. She more just tried to talk to me and, tell me, learn from what I'm seeing around me. And I guess eventually I would listen. Or plus around that time my grandma came in the picture. So I guess both of them started influencing me there at the end.
Okay. What do you think was one of the most craziest things you've seen growing up?
I think the most craziest thing I seen growing up was probably, like I said, all the shootouts and just all the drug dealers and just fiends around. And third block was like a mini Harlem back in the day. This long stretch, there was just a line of people just lined up for drugs and selling drugs. And yeah, it was crazy.
Now, growing up in this lifestyle, you're gonna go through a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of things you're gonna see. Drug deals can go bad. People die over drug deals, over a lot of money. Is there any of those type of situations that you've seen growing up?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. One that comes to mind, my mom and this drug dealer that she knew from Stillwater, actually, a drug deal went bad between them at these apartments on the northwest side of town. And he was mad at her for showing up or whatever, but she owed him some money, but he was mad at her for showing up or whatever reason, I don't know. But he came right out the door and grabbed her by her neck and threw her on the ground. And I was in the car and I saw the whole thing, so I jumped out the car and I was like, "Hey, motherfucker!" And he looked at me, and I pulled out this little 22 high point I had at the time, and I shot at him. He took off running through the breezeway. I missed, but that was my first time shooting at somebody.
What'd your mom think when that happened? Did she know you had a gun on you?
Yeah, my mom knew I had a gun, but my mom told me having a gun is having a short life. So when I first got that gun, she told me that, and I told her it's crazy. It's crazy around the city, and it's crazy with me coming up in this rap shit. So I'm gonna need it, and I'm gonna need it to protect me, and I'm gonna need it to protect you. And sure enough, I needed to protect my mom that night. So I don't think she was too mad about it, but like I said, mom would have probably wanted me to handle it differently, but I'm always step for my mama.
I hear that, man. Carrying a gun, man, it comes with a lot. Did the cops ever catch you with a gun or anything like that?
I'll put it like this. Me and my homies, we've had some gunplay with some ops and some enemies and some haters and fuck niggas. Just like this one time, this girlfriend I had at the time, she had this other girl she was kicking it with, and she needed some help getting some shit from her boyfriend's house or whatever. So me and my homie decided we'd help him or whatever. And the other girl's boyfriend, he got all mad and got his homies coming after us. So we got into a big fight out at their house. They was actually having a party out there, and we got in a big fight out there. And then they followed us back to me and my homie's house, and me and my homie pulled our guns out on them and shit, and they actually had guns too, but yeah, it didn't escalate after that because the girls were screaming and yelling and shit, talking about we're gonna call the cops, so it didn't go beyond that. But other than that, my homie, he got shot and killed at a party. My other homie, he got shot and killed at a party over a female, so that was bad. That was bad to hear that when that happened.
Were you there when that happened?
I wasn't there, but me and him was supposed to kick it the next day, and when I woke up, I got the news. It was all over Facebook and everything that he got killed. So it was crazy.
Yeah, man, that's rough. You know, growing up in this lifestyle, man, you're gonna have to interact with the police a lot. Obviously not by choice, but you're gonna be harassed by the police. They're gonna pull you over. They're gonna search your car. You know, you already mentioned how, you know, the feds came and questioned you when you were only 6. You know, did you have any bad situations with the police or being harassed by the police or anything?
Yeah, I've dealt with that a lot growing up and shit. I deal with that now. I think a lot of upcoming rappers deal with that shit, but I do got an open case that I can't speak about too much. But yeah, just same old shit. Just there ain't nothing in my city but catching cases or ending up in a casket. So that's why I'm trying to get the fuck up on out of here. Cause like Boozy said, you know, niggas be hypnotized with hatred and niggas be hating on you and just you can end up dying in your own city. So that's why shit, Boozy's a mentor to me now, and so is T-Rail. So I take their words and their advice to the heart. So it's time to get out of here as soon as I can. As soon as I get done fighting this case and getting done beating that case and wrapping up everything else with this rap shit. Time to get out.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. You said there was a part you wanted to talk about where you beat up a cop?
Yeah, I did beat up an off-duty state trooper. It was about a year and a half ago. I was in the Walmart parking lot and I was speeding through the parking lot. I was mad as hell about something, and this couple got out of their car and the chick or whatever, she was like, slow down, you know, cussing at me and shit, and I was like, fuck you, bitch, you know, I cussed at her back, and her husband sitting there looking at me all crazy and shit. So I park, I get out the car, and you know, they're talking shit to me, and while they're walking in the store and I'm following them, I'm like, shit, let's get it, you know, let's fight or whatever. And you know, he's a big ass dude, so he's looking at me like, dude, you don't want none. So I followed them on into Walmart, and I'm like, actually I do. So we're sitting there like, you know, stepping up to each other and shit, and he pushes me down on the ground, and then I get up and I speared him into a fruit stand, and I start punching him. And then his wife at that time was like, he's an off-duty state trooper. So I continued punching him and shit, and then I threw him into another fruit stand and I started punching him again. And then like 4 or 5 Walmart employees pulled me off of him, and then he tackled me to the ground when all the Walmart employees grabbed me because I was beating his ass already. So he gonna wait till they all grab me, and he took me down to the ground and pulled his badge out and showed it to everybody. He's like, I'm off-duty state trooper and blah blah. So I was like, well, shit, y'all was talking shit to me first, and you do the first punch, and it's on the camera. So, you know, we can go. You take me to jail if you want to. I was like, shit, I'm ready to go to jail over this if you caught on camera talking shit and putting your hands on me first. And he sat there and thought about it for a second. He was like, if I let you go, then don't fight no more and get out of here. And I was like, cool. So I got up and walked on out. So on some Tupac shit, I beat up an off-duty state trooper and got away with it.
That's what's up.
For sure.
So that was it. So they never called the cops or no charges were pressed, nothing.
Nope.
Okay, that's what's up. And now that you eventually graduate from high school, did you ever have a regular job?
Yeah, I work regular jobs. I worked at a Dairy Queen. I think that was my first job. Well, I mowed with one of my coaches. Me and him was real tight through high school, and he guided me and shit. He was a good mentor to me. But yeah, I mowed yards with him, so I guess that was my first job. And then I worked at Dairy Queen after, and yeah, just moving boxes and just being in warehouse kind of thing after that.
At what point do you start taking music serious?
I started taking music serious about 2016. I think I met my girlfriend about that time, and I started taking music seriously about that time too. I was going through a lot of shit, so felt like I should pick up the mic again and start making money from this shit. And I've been grinding for the past 5 years.
Have you worked with any big artists?
Yeah, I've worked with T-Rail, and I worked with Boozy. Um, October 2020, T-Rail came to he came to OKC, and I got in the studio with him to make a song together, and we made a video and took a picture and everything to, pretty much show the world, next big artist, and you know, uh, in cahoots with T-Rail and making music together. So it gave me a lot of boost and a lot of clout and attention. So that happened, and then as I was waiting a couple months later for T-Rail to send his half of the song, we went ahead and decided to put Boozy on it because him and Boozy were having their B-Day bash. Well, T-Rail's B-Day bash, and Boozy was going to be there. So me and T-Rail was talking on the phone. He was like, man, let's put Boozy on the song. And I was, I told him that was a good idea. So I showed up to the B-Day bash, and I was VIP all night in T-Rail's crew, running around with them. We was club hopping and partying, and then we went to the studio later on that night, and Boozy was there, and T-Rail and Boozy made their Long Live 3 remix in honor of Mo 3. And it was an honor to sit there and watch them cook up that classic. And then after that, me and Boozy took our picture, and Boozy sent his half of the song, and T-Rail sent his half of the song, and all I can do is I'm doing my half, and all I can do is do what I can to make this a hit. So yeah, got a big song coming with T-Rail and Boozy, Get Used to Me, and I'm gonna have an album coming out after that.
Man, that's what's up. Sounds like you got some good stuff cooking up.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you got planned for the future, music-wise?
Well, I'm gonna do it independently as much as I can, but if that deal that's worth it, comes through, then I think I'll sign to someone. But for now, all I can do is just keep pushing this music shit and getting songs out. I'm gonna be dropping a lot of new music soon for my fans. I have about 8,000, 9,000 followers on Instagram right now, so I got a lot of fans, and they're waiting on some new music. So I've been waiting to get this big song with T-Rail and Boozy out first, and then I can follow up my album and a bunch of other singles and everything. So it'll be worth it, and it's all coming soon. But other than that, shoot a movie and get up out of Oklahoma.
Okay. Well, man, it sounds like you've had, quite a journey through your life.
Yeah, I have. Right now I'm in Stillwater, and I clicked up with some of the Stillwater dudes that I grew up with, because when I was in Perry at the time, I was actually clicking up with some of the Stillwater dudes, because Stillwater's a town over. And Stillwater, they're a small they're a small town, small city gangsta town too, gangsta city too. So they got thugs there too, and they get down. So I got some homies from Stillwater. Shout out Katie Curry, and shout out my barber, Jew Blends. He's the one that got me this fresh boozy fade right now. But he's down at the Headliners Barbershop. I'd like to put them on the map too. They show me nothing but love, the Stilly gang. Shit. I just called us the Stilly Sopranos because Stilly move at the Stilly guys. They move like a mob. Everybody looks out for each other, and everybody's related to each other in some kind of way. So yeah, these Stilly dudes don't play either. But I clicked up with them, and I got real strong in Stillwater along with my own rep from Enid. So my homie Katie Curry, he's been by my side and been my muscle and helping me conquer the rap game. So
All right, man. That's what's up.
Stilly on the
You
map
actually got a
too.
lot going on. Man, that's what's up, man. Well, I appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you for having me, Cam Capone.
Yeah, definitely, man. Dope story. I'm sure people are gonna like it. And good luck with you, man.
Hey, good luck to you too.
Yeah, thank you for
Yep.
sure. All right, bro.